Today I'm going to be cooking that British classic, and that is shepherd's pie. This recipe will work fine with either beef mince or lamb mince. Today I'm going to be using a combination of lamb mince that is 10% fat of 500 grams and 500 grams of 20% fat. Along with my mince, I'll be using 2 garlic cloves chopped, minced or grated. Alongside that, 1 medium onion diced. Along with that, we'll have 1 leek chopped. And we can't have a shepherd's or cottage pie without the good old Worcestershire sauce. With that, we'll have 2 tablespoons with 1 heaped tablespoon of tomato puree. And some vino. You don't have to put this in, but I highly recommend you do. About 100 to 150 ml of red wine. 250 ml of chicken stock. Shop bought's fine, because this is only a quickie. 1 heaped teaspoon of dried thyme. For the topping, I highly recommend you use my mashed potato recipe. The link for that is on the screen now. We'll need about 750 grams of that. Through that, this is optional, I'll put 3 chopped spring onions, and this will give it the champ effect. And let's just make it even more Moorish and naughty. On top of that, I'll be adding about 100 grams of grated cheddar cheese. Right, good people, first things first, get yourself a large frying pan and heat that to high. I'll hit that with about a tablespoon of olive oil. That mince will release its fat. So do not put your mince anywhere near this pan until it is virtually too hot to touch. You can now literally see this pan shimmering. I'll take my mince out of the fridge about half an hour before I cook it. Really important just to take the chill off it, because if you put it in cold, you'll lose your pan heat. I'm going to go 2 batches. This is batch 1, so half your mince into your pan. You're really listening for that sound of the mince going in and that pan making some quality noise. Try not to move it too much. The most important part about the shepherd's pie is the caramelisation of the mince. If you don't caramelise that mince, it'll start boiling, it'll be horrible texture, not good. We'll hit this with some salt, plenty of black pepper. Let's not move that mince around too much and just let it start to caramelise. About 3 or 4 minutes in, you can really hear that pan working this mince now. So I've just been gradually breaking it down, but I've not turned any mince over. You can now hear it start to crackle, and that is the sign of it caramelising, and that's exactly what we want. And we'll flip that over now. It's nicely brown. I'd like a little bit more colour on it. Break it up a little bit more. You get less colour on lamb mince than you do beef mince. You see it start to caramelise. So we'll give this, again without moving it around, constantly stirring it, just let your mince, leave it on the surface of that pan and let the pan do the work for you. Now listen to that pan now. Some nice colour on that mince. Just want a little bit more. And we'll pop that on our waiting plate and repeat the same with the other 500 grams of lamb mince. Halfway through batch 2 of the mince, just the high fat content. Almost ready. Just going to add our garlic. Chopped garlic, minced garlic, whatever you want to call it. Mix that through. Again, we're always looking for that pan noise. If you can't hear that pan, it's not hot enough. It's so important. I can't stress it enough. And that is about ready for our plate. Now it's important to stress that my pan is now on medium heat. I've let it cool off a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with the diced onions, leeks, a little bit more oil, seasoning, Mix that through. Cook this over a medium heat for about 5, 6, 7 minutes, just until it starts to soften. Keep it moving. We don't want that onion and leek burning. So I've been softening the leeks and onions for about 5 to 6 minutes, stirring continually to help prevent it from burning. Now we'll grab that Worcestershire sauce, not being shy, a couple of tablespoons of that, mix that in. Not forgetting that tomato puree. So this is like similar skills to cooking a curry. What we're doing is just making like a base, a flavour base. So a nice heaped tablespoon minimum, and we'll mix that in. Each ingredient we add, that smell just intensifies. Now that mince can go back into our pan, the whole job lot. You can see where it's all caramelised around the edges. Give that a mix in. Mix it in, marry those leeks, onions, tomato puree, Worcestershire sauce in with that caramelised mince. Also add a little bit of dried thyme. You can use fresh if you wish. Today I can't be bothered. Today is Sunday hangover day. Always self-inflicted. Give that a good old mix in, and then hit it with that wine. About 100 mils we're looking for. A little bit more for good measure. Now it's really important before we do anything else is to cook that wine, the alcohol, out as much as we can. Or it'll taste like a glass of wine, and we don't want that. So keep mixing, stirring. Smells incredible. Be sure to scrape that pan to get all those gnarly bits that are stuck to the bottom. That's where the flavour bomb is. And now in with 250 mils chicken stock. We'll bring it up to a gentle simmer. We will simmer this gently for about 15 minutes. In that time we will preheat our oven to 180 degrees Celsius and prepare our mashed potato topping. Again, the link for my mashed potato is coming up on the screen now. If you watch this channel regularly, you'll know my saying by now, and that is, if only YouTube did smells. This smells absolutely incredible. Now we'll put this in our waiting oven dish. Now this is the part where I try and keep my hands out the way of the camera and end up getting everything all over the side. Not where I'm intending to put the mince. Looking good. I do think with lamb mince you don't quite get the same colour as you do with beef mince. It always looks a little bit lighter. Now we'll top that with, hopefully you've cooked my recipe of mashed potato. Now we'll grab a fork and make some little patterns. I'm not the most creative people in the world, and all this will do is help the mashed potato brown. And now we'll make it even more luxurious and top it with some waiting ready grated cheddar cheese. You can use red Leicester if you want something with a bit more tang. Choice is yours. Oh, that's just ready for this oven. Looking pretty good. We'll cook this in a preheated oven for 20 minutes. And here she is, a thing of beauty. Give it longer than 20 minutes if need be, just to get that potato nice, gnarly and crispy. Let's tuck into it. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment, like, subscribe and all those good things. If there's anything you'd like to see me cook, comment below. But for now, take care, keep safe, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.